TGN League of Legends Tournament number 3 main event. We're casting this on the offstage. This is the very first day of the main event, and I'm super pumped. My name is Awall, and joining me on this cast is Cromar. 2 questions, my friend.
Yes.
Are you pumped? And if so, tell me about this matchup.
I'm not pumped, so I'm not going to tell you about this matchup.
I see.
Actually, I am very pumped because this matchup is between 2 of my favorite teams in the series, Electric and Magnius. Electric showed up in the qualifiers for the first time, and they dominated. They went completely lossless. They went 5 wins. And
So just to clarify, Electric is the blue team, correct?
Electric is indeed the blue team. Both teams are kind of stealing each other's blue. It actually looks like Electric may be deciding to change their mind. At least 1 or 2 of them are going back, but they're doing the double blue steal. Oh, we may actually see something from Magnius. Looks like they're coming back to their blue. Oh, man, we may have a 5-on-3 situation. Let's see if they go for it.
Oh, boy, this could be
bad for
terrible.
Electric.
It should be. Electric needs to pull out now. There's the ward in the bush there. They have vision. Oh no, this Corki's forced to pull back the Ignite on him. Looks like he's going to survive, but Blitzcrank is in terrible shape. His mana shield, will it save him? Noble Frog getting taken out. Nocturne with the first blood right out the gate.
Yikes.
That's what's up. We were pumped about this matchup, and now we're seeing early first blood.
Yes.
I am very excited.
Very excited. And also, Electric is not in position for their jungler to pick up the blue right away, whereas Magnius is. That was a huge move by Magnius. They started out with a double blue steal, and Electric made the critical mistake of sending 2 people back and keeping the other ones there. We have a note here from Blitzcrank saying that our Maokai DC'd. Oh, that sucks.
There's the pause.
There we go. So the game resuming. Sorry about that, folks. Just had to wait for Maokai to reconnect and get past the good old reconnect bug. But anyway, our matchup here, which started out with a very exciting first blood for Magnius, is between Electric and the aforementioned Magnius. They are a couple of really high-end teams. Electric did extremely well in the qualifiers, as did Magnius. I think both teams went undefeated. I know Electric went undefeated, and I'm pretty sure Magnius did as well. I think they had one game after that was a non-broadcasted game after, and I'm assuming they won that, but I'm not positive. Anyway, point is, both of these teams are extremely good. Magnius is composed of a few friends of TGN. By the way, we have action up top. We had to actually...
my.
Oh,
holy
what a
moly,
move.
getting that kill. Nice job by Lee Sin, picking up that kill right on the tower.
Down bottom.
Here's some more action down bottom. Looks like this Blitzcrank's getting caught in a terrible situation again. If Noble Frog gets killed for the 2nd time this early, that would be terrible. But look at that clutch tree move right there with the triangle bush. Are they going to turn this thing around and get a double kill here early game? See you later, Tarek. One more punch. FTW. Blitzcrank turning things around, saying first blood this bitch. Excuse me there, but yeah.
That was a hell of a move by the jungler. Now Lee Sin looking to consolidate his lead with a free kill on Nocturne as he went to steal that red. What a great move, but up top it looks like Swain's looking for vengeance. But is he going to steal this red? He is not. He's actually given up on it. But should he... Well, I don't know. Lee Sin's kind of caught between Ari and Swain. Now we have Brand coming up. Boy, this is getting exciting real quick. And it looks like Ari is unfortunately going to have to go down to the mass damage from Lee Sin and Brand. So Electric very unhappy about giving up first blood, and they kind of want to make up for it with some super aggressive play. I cannot believe that early kill from Lee Sin on Swain. That really is going to hurt Magnius. But there's so much action we can barely even finish talking about these teams. So as long as these guys would actually stop killing each other for just a moment, some of these individual players you may recognize, in particular Brojo, who became very famous in the first TGN Squadron for his Marine Micro Graves play. Graves, of course, is banned. That's both a kind of a semi-standard AD carry ban as well as a player-specific ban. So he's moving on to one of his other AD carries. He plays a really good Kog'Maw, among others. Sivir is who he's playing now. These guys are all friends of TGN, so we're rooting for all of them on both teams. Hard to pick one. We're supposed to be completely unbiased anyway, so that's probably for the best. But
we are. Just for the record, we are. Oh no! Raid Boss Swain in terrible shape. Lee Sin able to finish it off again in the top lane. Team Electric dominating that top lane. I was not expecting Swain to get hit that hard early game and get that much pressure, even from a Lee Sin.
That's going to be devastating because Swain, as we talked about in the pregame, is so reliant on snowballing early. He has to snowball because he's so dependent on his levels. He's dependent on being... Because the thing is, when Swain gets ahead of you, he doesn't just get ahead of you on damage and survivability. I mean, he gets to the point where you can't even hurt him because he out-heals your damage. And that really happens quite a bit. We also just saw while I was talking, Blitzcrank landed a rocket grab on Sivir while Spell Shield was up. We talked about that also in the pregame, that Sivir's Spell Shield is a direct counter to Blitzcrank's grab, which is pretty awesome. Sivir is also hitting with that really badass Sivir skin, hitting those long range Boomerang Blades
Here
on
comes
Blitzcrank,
here
so
comes
great
Nocturne to
pick.
gank mid on Brand. Here comes Ari to follow up. Can they get anything done on Brand? No. Fantastic placement on the stun by Brand,
Nice.
saving his own ass.
Very, very nice, very nice. So that was really good placement by Brand, just like you said. Brand's kind of a not so great champion in high-level competitive play because of his lack of
Bottom
escapes,
lane
less
though. Look at
sustain.
this Tark. The Tark's trying to secure the kill here on Blitzcrank. Maokai coming in at just the right moment to take out Brojo. Oh no! Brojo getting taken out. Will this Tark be able to escape? They've got to dive that. Yes, they did. Corky picks up the kill. Team Electric. I am surprised. I know Electric's 2,000 plus elo. I am surprised that they are able to get this much traction this early in the game on Magnius. Magnius has some super talented players on board.
Yes, Magnius is a very well-honed team. They're much better than their elo would suggest. They're like 1600s with I think one person a little bit higher. But the thing is, their elos are not really indicative of the quality of their team. They're actually much higher than that because they have great team cohesion. They have people who are used to playing as range teams as opposed to solo and duo queue.
Oh no, Lee Sin might dive here on the tower again. The Ignite on Swain. Swain at 13 health. One more tick. Third kill in the top lane. Cromar.
Wow.
What is going on? This is complete domination. You said Team Electric was the dark horse of this tournament.
I did.
I wasn't expecting to be this dominant, though.
Well, they're really showing Magnius that they're on a whole different level. And I really, going into this game, I really expected to be a more even matchup. And certainly that first blood had my hopes up. But I think Electric wants everyone to know that they're serious business. Because they've got to go up against, at some point, most likely we'll have to face Reboot. Whether it's the finals or the semifinals, they're going to probably have to be up against Reboot at some point in this tournament. So, we really think that the thing is they want to show everybody that they can beat Reboot Gaming. And taking out a team full of fan favorites like Magnius, who went undefeated in the qualifiers, and just taking them out so easily is kind of like a big statement. And by the way, there's a grab on Sivir forcing the flash. It was actually pretty slick. He used his uppercut to break the spell shield, then did the grab. So
yeah, it was quite
discipline.
nice. This is really nice Blitzcrank play here.
It is,
which
it
I
is.
can always appreciate. Folks didn't get to hear it because we don't record the pregame commentary,
Yes.
but I almost blew up when I saw this Blitzcrank in the game. I love Blitzcrank. He's a game changer. He's so interesting late game, how he changes late game dynamics. I don't even know if we're going to get to see a late game this time around. Up by 4K gold already is Team Electric.
Yeah, I completely agree. The late game, if it even happens, is going to probably going to be fairly one-sided. Ari with the great escapes. That's one of the reasons why Ari is so effective, because of her escapes, not just her burst. Look at the damage on Nocturne.
Look at that grab through the trees by Noble Frog, picking up Sivir. Grab through the trees. Then the Corky finishes him off over the tree line. This is nasty. The chemistry here between Fei Long and Noble Frog in this bottom lane is incredible. You can tell these guys have played together a ton. That was just perfectly executed. It's like they didn't even have to try to pick that up.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Unfortunately, Brojo giving up another death and going 0-3-1 now at this point, 838. We haven't even talked about farm. I mean, Electric is so far ahead across the board. It's just like there's not even any point in going on to it. I mean, look at Swain at 15. He's totally useless. Swain is almost a completely useless character if he's underfed. He does have his stun, which could be a great initiate for their team. But if he's not able to just walk in, ult, and survive, then he's essentially useless. He just drops one spell and then he's done. So this is basically it for Magnius. There's almost no recovery. But I'm looking forward to the second game because I think Magnius got off to a really bad start with first with Lee Sin so outmatching Swain in top lane, just to the point where he had no chance. And then also bot lane with that huge turnaround from Maokai. We saw that was the very first play other than the botched blue steal. That was the very first play. So we have some more action in the
Speaking of
jungle.
steal botches, there is a botched red steal. I was sitting there watching Nocturne try to pick this thing up off of Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Then Brand came in, having the knowledge to know that this steal was probably underway. At least there was somebody missing in the jungle. So he decided to come up there and to support Lee Sin, able to completely thwart that situation and pick up kills.
That was a
Things
good
completely getting turned around on Magnius there, and that was just a strategic level thing. That didn't have anything to do with micro.
Yes.
It just had to do with map awareness.
I'm going to jump back a second ago. I want to show a maneuver here that just came from Lee Sin. If something happens, yell at me so I can jump forward to catch it here live. But what I was watching is that after Lee Sin chased Swain in the tower, Brand was going to go for the kill. Lee Sin had to back off, but he ran into Ari, and he realized, oh, I should probably not walk into Ari with my health being low, and used his Q to jump over to Swain in the tower. So he used his Q as both a killing move for Swain.
Oh boy, you did miss something hot in the bottom lane. Another double kill in the bottom lane. Oh my goodness. Blitzcrank using his ultimate on Sivir to prevent the shield, then just straight up blowing her up with Corki, leaving Tarek wide open, only had one Dazzle to even deal with that situation, and he went down as well. Another double kill in the bottom lane. We've already seen it before. Now it's 15-1, bro. Double the gold at
Yikes.
10 minutes in as Team Electric. This is straight nasty.
Yeah, that is pretty nasty. I did miss the double kill, but we've seen so many it'd be okay. I tried to catch up to it, but the client was not cooperating with me, so that's okay. I'll just catch right back up to live. Basically, I saw the also maneuver here with Lee Sin barely escaping Swain. Swain almost getting revenge on Lee Sin, but not quite. But back to where we were talking about, Lee Sin had used his Q both as an escape and as a killing blow on Swain, which was just a hell of a move with Lee Sin, and it shows how versatile Lee Sin is when he's being played by an extremely skilled champion, that he can do something like that. That was a really great move. But yeah, down bot again, the domination is so... man, I feel bad for Magnius. You know, they're good friends at TGN and all, but they're just getting outplayed absolutely at every lane.
They are right now. Let's see if they can turn things around. This would be the comeback of a lifetime, to be quite honest. Down by 14 kills, down by 9K this early. I don't really see how they can do it. Unless a Team Electric starts to get real sloppy.
Yeah.
This game is pretty much already wrapped up, but let's just keep watching. Here's another engage in the bottom lane. Nocturne coming in here, trying to pick up a kill on Corki. Corki survives. That Ignite's not going to finish off the job. Now they're going after Blitzcrank. One Dazzle cooldown can secure this. Can Tarek get another Dazzle? No, he can't. Blitzcrank there with the pull, picking up the kill on Nocturne, now turning it around, getting the kill on Tarek. Now Severe's in trouble. Mayokai is going to make sure that this one's secured. Oh my gosh, every situation that you think Magnius is picking up a leg, they are just getting shut down. Can Ari make something happen? At least one kill on Corki. Blitzcrank with the pull on Ari, now getting double teamed. This is some real hot action in the bottom lane. Blitzcrank goes down. Now only the tree remains. So low on health. Oh my, at least Magnius was able to turn things around. They did come out on top overall in that exchange.
Barely.
That was quite exciting.
Yeah, a little bit of fake trash talk there from Electric on quote-unquote useless brand. Yeah, that was a great move. There's so many great moves in there. I just have to go back through it over and over again in the instant replay here, but I'll do that in post there so we don't miss anything live. But anyway, so there's some really, really awesome stuff actually coming from them. Both teams with a huge back and forth. Both teams coming in, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Mayokai really turned things around at the start, because at the start he was extremely in favor of Magnius. Maokai's great maneuver under the tower basically set Magnius on the run, but then in comes Ari. Ari is right now their strongest champion because Ari has not given up 5 deaths like Sivir, and technically has the highest farm, although it's not a very good farm score. So Ari was really their only hope for that team fight and basically carried them through it. Without Ari's damage there, they would have been nowhere. By the way, Swain up top trying to fight it out with Lee Sin, but the deficit in farm and gold and 4 levels is really showing, because even though he did everything perfectly, Lee Sin only lost about half his health. So, you know, a non-malnourished or a well-fed Swain will murder Lee Sin in that situation if Lee Sin can't get away. And in that case, Lee Sin didn't even need to get away. He just kind of backed off a little bit and went back to last hitting. That just goes to show how dependent Swain is on that. Swain gets behind, he just might as well not even be there. Might as well just AFK.
Yeah, and we're seeing some heavy pressure on this tower now, the opposite of what I thought it would be comp-wise. And there's Blitzcrank with a pull. Oh my goodness, right on Tarek. Corki got the kill as well. This Blitzcrank is just using his moves perfectly. I know that's a very simple statement, but using the right ones at the right time to ensure that his ally that he's not picking up the kill. A lot of people would have power fisted there and would have accidentally picked up the kill. This is fabulous Blitzcrank play. I can't wait to see more, to be quite honest, as we move forward in this tournament. The shield there protecting, oh my, using the power fist to take off the shield on Severe and trying to get the kill there now. Nocturne forced to pop the flash. Severe getting caught between a rock and a hard place. But Corki gets killed instantly. And Blitzcrank very patiently waiting to use that ultimate until that moment. One power fist can secure the kill here on Nocturne. Whoa, getting the kill there. This Blitzcrank play is amazing, but luckily Ari was there to pick up and clean up that mess. Mayokai deciding to pull back, I'm not sure.
Wow. Yeah, that was very, very, very exciting. Again, Ari coming in, Ari being their star player at this point, and kind of getting some revenge for all the maneuvers. Yeah, Brand is actually not taking part in these team fights very much. Brand's mobility is kind of one of the things that makes him kind of a lesser champion in competitive play. So I really think that It's not just mobility, there's other issues too, but mobility is a huge part of it. I mean, compared to Ahri, Ahri has almost as much burst as he does, if not more, but she has massive, massive mobility. It's very easy for her to roam and gank. It's much more difficult for Brand to do that. Brand, if he... Oh, yeah, I missed that, but I don't think we even need to see it.
It's okay, I watched it. It was instant replay from the last 3 times it happened, man. Right on the tower. Lee Sin just more powerful and more fed. That's all it boiled down to, bro.
Yeah. Someone's talking about gold for each individual, and... Brand has 5,300 gold saved up right now.
That's 5,300.
Look at Brand's items. It just occurred to me.
Oh, it took us this long to notice it. He's only got boots 1 pot right now.
Yeah. He needs to buy some items.
Yeah, I would recommend buying items. That's a good strategy to use in this game. It's a strategy that goes all the way back to Dota and even in Han and Smite, for that matter. So let's see what he goes back and buys. Maybe he's gonna buy like just straight up 3 top tier items and then just jump out and dominate the game and get a penta or something. Who knows?
Yeah. No, he might. I don't know. All he's doing is farming. His farming is outstanding. You know, it's about 173, which is very high level tournament play. That's what we want to see out of Electric. They actually caught Maokai in the jungle. Are they going to get him?
Maokai flashes out. No, Swain picking up the kill there. Yep. Finally getting at least some farm right now. Yep. Behind by 11k still though, Cromar. I mean, is that an insurmountable lead?
Team one, oh yeah. At low elos, maybe not, because at low elos, people make mistakes. There was another kill that we just saw on Korkan Sivir, catching her in the woods. But in low elos, you see that all the time. I mean, I'll give you an example. Me and Pure Shield were playing a game with, I think Hengus was there too. We're playing a game with a guy who was a Camera from Reboot Gaming.
Oh,
and there's
Tarek.
a total murder under the tower. Nothing's stopping them there. They're just, nothing can stop them now. But we were playing a game with Camera from Reboot, and of course he's worth about 3 of me in a game, right? So we're playing a game, and because of the matchmaking, we got matched with a team at a much higher elo than us because he kind of threw off our elo. And although he was doing great, the Camera was doing great, the rest of us were doing pretty terrible, and our teams were way behind. And then we were like getting, wanting to quit or whatever, but we were like, this is a very low elo game. We can turn this around, wait for them to make a mistake. So that's exactly what happened. They made a huge mistake. We aced them and then walked up and took the Nexus, even though we were way behind. So those things are possible, but the problem here is that Electric is so far beyond that level of play that most of us are at. Not just the average player, even the above average player, they're so far above that the chance of them making a crucial mistake because of lack of team cohesion or because they get cocky, that stuff almost never happens with them, and that's what separates the great players from the bad. Not just really amazing players like that Blitzcrank grab through the wall. That was really exciting, but it's not the number one thing that they do that makes them so good. The number one thing they do is that they don't screw up.
Hey, Magnius has an opportunity here to get some kills in the bottom lane. And that was a bit of a screw-up, getting caught in the jungle there. Yeah. Nocturne picking that up. Of course, 3v1. It's really hard to get out of this situation. Gonna pick up a kill on Maokai as well. Here's that Ahri getting out ahead of him. If Maokai can escape to the tower, it might save him. No, with the Ignite that's totally secured. Here comes Corki, though. Will he be able to kill Ahri? Ahri in the bush. Pull back Ahri. No, Ahri got a little greedy there. Here comes the Dazzle and the follow-up from the team. Of course, they're going to dive this. The question is, will Corki get a kill off of this? The Ignite on Tarek allows him to get it.
He does, but unfortunately, Tarek was not worth any money at all whatsoever. So Corki essentially got nothing for his sacrifice. But
making lemonades out of lemon there, I get, or
yeah, something like that. No, you're right though. They did make one crucial mistake. Blitzcrank pulling through the wall at that time without enough backup was a mistake. I won't dispute that, but it's not going to be something they're going to turn around the game. Of course, at the moment I'm explaining how they're never going to make mistakes. That's when they make their mistake, right?
Of course, just to make you look like a fool.
But yeah, exactly. But having one player give up a pick, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest, especially at this point. It's only 19 minutes in, and there's still a 15k gold differential. What I'm talking about by big mistakes, I'm talking about a bad engage at a team fight at Dragon or Baron, and that basically gives the whole team a ton of money, like gives them an ace and a Baron. That's what screw up. That's a game throw. They're not going to do that kind of stuff. Blitzcrank giving up one pick is not going to matter at all. How many kills did they pick up out of that whole thing? They pick up 2 kills out of that whole mess, or just 1?
That is correct. And I got to point out again for the audience. Look at this Brand. He's got 221 CS. That is almost
at
literally as much as the entire other team combined, and he's only got a pair of freaking boots. And now He got
he needs to buy some items. He's got no
Buy
health.
some damn items. Yeah, it's starting to catch up with him now. Brojo picked up that kill off of him, and don't be too. You're talking about not being too cocky. You want to talk about cocky? All right, there it is. He's picking up his death cap and his scepter
and his crystal scepter.
And, oh my gosh, and his boots. Just straight up buying that. Let's take a look at Brandon, see how much AP he all of a sudden acquired once he gets back. Talking about getting cocky, but regardless, with those items, this brand is going to start to dominate, and he picked up 1 health pot. I think that 1 health pot's going to push this over the edge.
Yeah, it will. There was the 1 health pot to push it over the edge, absolutely. There was a kill. I missed the kill, but it was a pretty simple kill on Nocturne. But anyway, Sivir and Corki. Sivir is way out of position. I'm not sure what he was doing up there. But or Corki rather. But anyway, here comes Ahri pushing in on.
He's gonna turn this around on Ahri. I think this Corki's gonna get the kill.
Yeah, there we go. There's Fei Long, man. There's the AD player for Electric. Jesus. And Blitzcrank also punched Tarek to death out down in the jungle. I missed that because I was too busy watching Corki murder their whole team at once. But yeah, this is going to be an inhib if they want it. The game's falling apart now for Magnius, and they actually surrendered. Yeah, 21-minute surrender. For Magnius, we can get on to game 2. Hopefully we don't have that kind of throw in the beginning. They got to think about their comp top lane. They cannot give up that top lane. The top lane, they ruined the whole game on the top lane because Swain became a non-factor. And that they can't have that with this comp. They have to have Raid Boss Swain, or the whole thing falls apart.
You're absolutely right. And, I mean, top lane was an issue, but bottom lane, in my opinion, an even bigger issue. The complete domination down there from that Blitzcrank Corki combo. Tarek was 0 and 9. Obviously, the 0 is acceptable, but the 9 is not. Just getting completely overpowered, and I don't think it had anything. The top lane, I don't feel like affected the bottom lane at all. It was just 2 separate instances of domination. And
that's true.
And mid lane would have been even more domination as well if that brand had bought items, but he just decided not to. So it was a fairly even lane, allowing Ahri to at least get some farm. I mean, this matchup, I am blown away here. You called Dark Horse on Team Electric.
I did.
I'm saying Reboot Gaming, watch out. This team could straight up roll Reboot Gaming.
They could after doing that to Magnius. Jesus. Yeah, I did expect a little bit more out of Magnius. I'll say that. I mean, honestly, I really did. They didn't perform like I expected him to. They gave up bot lane, they gave up top lane, and they Ahri did well. But like you said, Brand didn't buy, so he was kind of handicapping himself for no reason. It was also the jungle too. Nocturne did okay. I mean, he didn't do any major blunders, but because kind of at the jungler, you're kind of relying on your lanes. You can't do much by yourself. But the thing is that Maokai had some major plays in the early game with his bot lane ganks that turned things around. There was a couple situations we saw where Magnius was close to making a huge play, and that would happen even before the very first kill. And then Maokai comes in and just turns it around. So I think it was the jungle performance too that really solidified things. But down bottom, yeah, I mean, Brojo, we all love Brojo, but he was just completely outplayed by Fei Long, the AD player for Electric. He played several different ADs in the qualifiers and just completely dominated with all of them. I mean, Electric did not even have a single challenging game. Their most challenging game was Angry Drunken Dwarves. That was a game. That was our first game actually. With
Slippery Fat Man right there. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the biggest challenge they had in the whole qualifiers, and I expected a lot more out of Magnius. We actually saw at least one game. I think we only showed one Magnius game on the offstage, if I remember correctly, Awall, and in the qualifiers, and they were super dominant during that game, and they were also very dominant in their other games, and I don't believe they lost any. So I was actually surprised to see how much they folded here.
Me too. Hey, let's go into game 2. Let's see if Magnius can turn this thing around, and let's see if Team Electric can remain consistent. Thanks for watching, guys. Link in the video description below to check out XSplit Broadcaster, the program we're using to broadcast all of these games live. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next cast.